Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Oh, hi, dear one. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 220. Today, we are talking all about decide these 3 things ahead of time. I'm going to tell you what they are. And start creating your dream life. Plus, my favorite planner. You guys, our brand new fall winter planner is out. You're going to die when you see it. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you're going to have to, we'll put the link to the YouTube video so you can see the planner and tell you how you can get it. We normally don't sell this planner outside of our program, but you can get it when you join our workshop. So that's coming up at the end of September. So we're going to talk about 3 things to decide ahead of time to start creating your dream life. I'm going to give you the perfect example, both good and bad, of how I have recently done this. And I think this is going to be really inspiring to you guys because I promise you that creating days that you love, that you're really proud of, turns into creating a life that you really love, that you're really proud of. And it doesn't mean that things always go well. So I'm going to tell you a perfect example of how I've been crying for the last hour and still am creating a day that I love in the midst of things that feel hard. So if it looks like I've been crying, I have been crying. And that's okay too. But I first want to start with the story of the weekend. So today's the day after Labor Day, and we have had the most epic weekend, you guys. Our family has been here. We went to Marcus and Eleanor, my little Ellie from New York City, came on Friday. I had the babies all day Friday. They came on Friday, spent the night. Saturday, we went to the first UT football game, which was so fun. And then Taylor, Mary Kate, and the babies, Katie and Jeff, they all came and spent the night on Saturday night. We had such a fun family night, wake surfing and having great food and enjoying each other. And then Sunday was Emmy and Haddon's engagement party. We had 50 people at our house. It was the most amazing day. And then yesterday, a bunch of the friends stayed and we surfed and played on the lake all day, to the point, you guys, that even last night, after all of that, Marcus was like, should we go out for like a sunset, like one more wake surfing session at sunset? And Stevie and I were like, yes. So Marcus, Stevie, and I went out, and listen, we gave summer a proper ending. It was so fun. We surfed till dark. The little lights on the boat came on because the sun had already set, but it was so fun. And what I want to tell you about that story is I knew last Tuesday I was meeting with my coach / counselor. And at this point, when I am meeting with my coach, I am like looking ahead, like, what do I want to create in my life for this weekend, for this event? What do I want to create 3 months from now, 6 months from now? It's kind of like a future focused, but really how to create a future that allows you to be really present in the present. And so we had been talking about this weekend that I just had. And I said, I know my tendency is to sometimes get caught up in the details and get overwhelmed with everything going on and to not be present and really enjoy it. And I said, I want to create the intention that all of the details in the end really don't matter that much. And I want to really connect with people. I want to experience so much love and joy and really be present for my friends and family this weekend. So we worked on that together, and she asked me some questions of what would it feel like to do that and what emotions do you want to experience. And so we just decided ahead of time what I wanted to think about the weekend, how I wanted to feel about the weekend, and then the things that I wanted to do to make sure that it was the experience that I wanted to create instead of what we often do, what I've often done, going into a weekend like that. I have so much to do, feeling so overwhelmed, thinking about, all of these things, not being able to rest, not being able to enjoy it myself, like getting to the end of it and going, well, I didn't even get to be there and be present for it because I had so much to do. Like I did not want to be a martyr at my own weekend. And so I got really busy thinking about what are the things that I can do ahead of time? What can I, delegate? What do I really want to, do and be part of? And how do I want to think about it and all of that? So I am going to teach you 3 things to decide ahead of time when you have an event coming up, just in your life in general, what do you want September to be about? What do you want the next few months before the new year to be about? And so deciding these three things ahead of time will really help you create that. And I can say that I finished this weekend. I was looking back through my phone, and you guys, it was so amazingly incredible. One of the things that I was really looking forward to is um, Haddon's family. He's so precious. His family is so precious. And I was so looking forward to meeting his granddaddy and his grandma, Cack. They call her Cack. She's so cute, Khaki. I was so looking forward to meeting them. And I knew that I just wanted to convey to them how much I appreciate them and have loved their encouragement and the family that they've created. You guys, so many of their family drove all the way from Memphis to be here for this engagement party, and they were so loving and so encouraging. I literally started crying as soon as I saw them all and get teary eyed when I think about it. But I really wanted to I wanted the experience of meeting them. I just wanted to be fully present and just convey how much I love them. And then he ended up we asked him to say a prayer over Emmy and Haddon because Haddon is getting ready to deploy to the Middle East. So we would appreciate your prayers for him. And the prayer was so beautiful and so incredible. And just the entire weekend was just more than I could have imagined. I felt so much love and so much joy. I got to spend the weekend with my grandbabies and my kids, and I just adore them all. And I'm so very grateful for these tools that I'm going to share with you today that have helped me be really present in my life. You guys, I can remember a time, and maybe you're living through this now, but I can remember a time, first of all, when I didn't have the energy to do that. Second of all, when I didn't have the emotional resilience and the sort of mental resilience, I didn't have the skills required to enjoy my own life. I spent so much time in overwhelm, so much time resenting what other people weren't doing to help so that I could experience what I wanted. And have you ever had this syndrome as a mom? Like, I'm doing everything, but you're really not present for the things that you really want to be present for. So I'm going to share with you these three things that I think you can start deciding ahead of time that will help you create these weekends, these days, these moments, which turn into your life in a way that you really want to experience it. I also, one of the things that I use all the time to do that is this planner. So I'm going to tell you at the end how you can get it. I have spent the last 3 years perfecting this planner. It comes out quarterly, and we normally don't sell it outside of our program, but you can get it this time. So I'll share that with you at the end. So 3 things. First of all, I want you to think about what you're thinking about. I want you to decide ahead of time what you want to think about. There's a space in our planner where you put that in there. Decide ahead of time, because if you don't, your mind will naturally go to everything that's wrong. Your mind will naturally complain a lot. Your mind will naturally judge other people. Your mind will naturally, like my mind used to always do, is focus on all the things that I've got to do. And is nobody else helping me? And oh my gosh, I'm just the victim of my own story. I spent so much time in negativity in my head. And if you don't decide ahead of time what you want your brain to focus on, it will naturally go to everything that's wrong. It will naturally think about things that don't give you the life you want. So if you think about what you think about, most of us spend 80% of our thoughts, of our focus, of our mind power thinking about things that don't give us the life we want. Thinking about things that are negative, thinking about how everybody else is doing it wrong, thinking about things that aren't giving us the experience of life that we want. What if instead you ask your mind to focus on, to meditate on, to think about what you want it to think about? To think about things that make you grateful, that make you experience love and joy and peace and patience and all of the positive experiences of life that you want. You get to experience that anytime you want by what you focus on. Just try it with me. Just try meditating on what you're grateful for a few minutes. Things that bring you joy, things that made you laugh. When you ask your mind to focus on that, it will. And we don't do this often enough. We don't think about what we're thinking about. We just sort of let our minds do what they do, which is always focusing on the negative and not bringing them back to what we want them to focus on. So before this event, I just kept saying to myself, I can't wait for this weekend. I can't wait to experience the joy and the love that we're going to experience all together this weekend. It's going to be such an incredible time together. And as I asked my mind to focus on that, my mind did focus on that. And I got to really enjoy like the morning, Saturday morning. Was it Saturday morning or Sunday morning? No, I think it was Sunday morning before the party. My little grandbaby Noah was here. And so I woke up at 5 that morning, and I kept checking on him because he's a little early riser, and he woke up at 5:30, and we got to have literally like 45 minutes to an hour on the screen porch by ourselves together. It was so delightful, you guys. I took a little video of it. I took a picture of it. I wanted to remember that little time that we had together just by ourselves before everybody got up, before the, all the hoopla of getting decorated for the party and getting the food out and all of that. We got to have like a sweet little moment together. And I think that I don't know if I would have been available for that 5 years ago or 6 years ago. And I just want to make myself available for times like that, moments like that, experiences like that. So, and again, I had already rehearsed in my mind how like meeting granddaddy and khaki. And I was like, oh, I can't wait. I know how much I'm going to love them. I can't wait to tell them how much I appreciate them and all of that. So how often do we spend doing that just on our daily lives? Like, what do you want your experience of today to be? Now, as we get into the second point, I'm going to tell you what to do when that all goes wrong. So your habits of thinking, I want you to decide ahead of time. How do I want to think about my life? How do I want to think about myself? How do I want to think about this experience? How do I want to think about this event? How do I want to think about the next month, the next 3 months, the next year? You get to decide. The second thing is, how do I want to feel? Decide ahead of time. You guys, if you don't decide ahead of time how you want to feel in any given situation, you have these stored ways of feeling in your life. You have these memories that you've made of feeling overwhelmed, of feeling anxious. And if you don't decide ahead of time, the habits that you have of those negative emotions will just come up. You'll all of a sudden feel overwhelmed. You'll feel anxious and you don't even know why, because you've had such a habit of doing that. Your body has a memory of being anxious, of being overwhelmed, of feeling resentful, of feeling bitter, of being angry. And if you don't get in the habit of asking your body to experience emotions in a different way, then you'll keep experiencing the ones you've been experiencing. Your body will just make a habit of that. And so the thing of it is, I had planned ahead of time how I wanted to experience this event. I had decided ahead of time, I want to feel so present. I want to feel so much love. I could read you. I spent a whole hour journaling on what I wanted the weekend to feel like and be like for me and for the people there. And because I had planned ahead of time, it was way easier to execute. It doesn't mean that I didn't have moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, we still have so much to do. Everybody's going to be here in an hour. But then I would kind of bring myself back to, okay, so what if we don't get those last bit of decorations out? It's fine. Okay, so what if the food doesn't show up on time? It's fine. We'll order pizza. Like almost having a contingency plan helped me kind of stay grounded and stay grateful and in the space that I wanted to. And listen, life is too short to stay stuck in negative emotions. So if you have a tendency, which many of us do, to just go to negative emotion, you have to ask yourself, is that what I really want? Now, I say this because this morning I had a kind of a rough morning. After this incredible weekend, after like literally taking the last bit of juice out of summer till late last night, we all kind of got in bed late. I knew it was going to be a trying morning with my little buddy boy. I knew that it's going to be hard for everybody to get up. Stevie had to go to work. Marcus is still here, but he had to work all day. Katie and Emmy are here. We're filming. And so we knew we had to work all day. And so I got up extra early, planned my day, used my little planner. I spent about 30 minutes planning so many good things. I was so excited about the day. Like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so fun. We're going to get so much done. And, when I got Tommy boy up, he did not want to get ready for school. He was having a rough morning. It ended up being a really rough morning. Like all of these emotions came up. I ended up in tears, sitting in the kitchen when Emmy came downstairs sobbing. Tom was in the other room crying. It was just one of those mornings, you guys. And I just, even in the middle of what was supposed to be a busy day for me, I just allowed myself to feel all those emotions. I was like, of course I feel frustrated. Of course I feel defeated. And I just cried and I chatted with Emmy about it. And I just let myself be where I was. Like, this is not how I anticipated my morning going. I got up, I planned all of this. I decided ahead of time how I wanted to think about today. I decided ahead of time the kind of day I wanted to have. And it's not turning out to be that kind of day. And I just allowed it. I just allowed the emotion. I just let the tears flow. I let it all come. I didn't judge myself for it. I just allowed it. It's not at all what I wanted the morning to be like, but it is how it ended up being. And I think what happens when we do that, I told Emmy, I said, how am I supposed to record the podcast now? And how am I supposed to have all these things that I wanted to do today? And I'm so a mess. And she's like, well, Mom, you tell me all the time that you just have to allow yourself to be where you are. I'm like, I know. So we had a hard morning, you guys, but I don't want to stay stuck there. So I don't want to spend the rest of my day feeling frustrated at him, frustrated at me, judging him. So I just allowed it all to be there, allowed the emotions, and I was able to kind of work through it quicker. I won't say quick, but I'll say quicker. So I think we have to allow ourselves to be where we are. So I'm not saying all this to say like that you're going to have some like, perfect cookie cutter life or day. It's never going to work out like that. But am I willing to be present with myself where I am, to be present with him where he is, and to just get through it together? And I think so often in my life, I've spent so much of my time being in emotions I didn't want because I wouldn't allow them. I would stuff them. I would react instead of processing them, instead of feeling them. I would run from them. I would eat instead. I would whatever. This morning, and I'm getting so much better at this, I just allowed it. I just let myself have a good cry. I probably needed the release from the weekend, which was so incredible, but also full of emotion, right? And are you letting yourself do that? Because if you do, what will happen is you'll process that and get through it, and then you'll get to create the emotions you want. I get to decide now, 2 hours later, okay, what kind of the rest of the day do I want to have? What do I want to create for myself? I don't want to stay frustrated and sad and defeated and resentful. No, I want to move forward and create the day that I want to create, even though it hasn't quite turned out to be the day that I thought I'd have. So ask yourself, what habits of thinking, what habits of feeling are you in? And are those giving you the day and the life that you want? Decide ahead of time. Because if you decide ahead of time, that's why having a planner is so helpful. You get to decide ahead of time. You get to write it down. You get to do some journaling about what you want to create in your life. The third decision you can make ahead of time is, now that I know how I want to think and how I want to feel, how do I want to use my time? What do I want to be doing? So we have thoughts, feelings, actions. And again, the same with the thoughts. We spend 80% of our time doing things that don't give us the life we want, focusing on things that don't really matter to us in the end. So what do you really want to spend your time doing? One of the things that we have in my 90-day dream planner is the top 3 that I want to do today. If I look at the top 3 things that I wrote down that I wanted to do today and how my day got turned sideways this morning, most of the time in the past, I probably wouldn't have gotten any of those done. And I'm already now striking through the second of those top 3 things, you guys. So if you put a couple of things, just 2 or 3 things on your list that really matter to you, that are moving your life forward, that are giving you the life you want, things that will matter to you in 3 months or 6 months. If you stack up a bunch of days where you did 2 or 3 things a day that really mattered, I am telling you, your life starts to feel so amazing. Your life starts to feel so fulfilling to you, so meaningful, because you don't feel like you're just wasting your days on a bunch of things that don't matter or ignoring your life altogether. You end up scrolling half the day, or you end up whatever it is that you do that you didn't want to do, that you didn't want to spend your day doing. And reevaluating this is so important. For me, that usually involves some kind of true connection with someone else. Again, another thing that we have in our planner. Who is the person that I really want to focus on this week? Who do I really want to love up on? Who do I want to pour into? Who do I really want to connect with? So it's not just the productivity of like what you want to get done, but what do you want your life to be about? What do you want your days to be about? And when you start doing this, you start becoming and being the person you really want to be. I think so often the reason we feel like we've lost our purpose or we've lost our meaning or we're not living up to our potential, it's not because of the big things, it's all the little things. It's because we spend so much of our time doing things that really don't matter in the end, that we really don't want to be doing or that don't really matter to us in the end, and very little time connecting to the people we want to connect with, creating the rhythms and routines we want to be creating in our lives, doing the things that really matter to us. So I want you to ask yourself, am I deciding ahead of time how I want to think about my life, how I want to feel in my life? What do I actually want to be doing? What actions do I want to be taking? And are those thoughts and feelings driving me to take the actions that I want or not? So I hope this is inspiring to you. I do want to let you know, you guys, that our next workshop is coming up. We do 4 of these a year. This one is called Design Your Life and Live Your Purpose. And we could not be more excited about it. And what we've decided to do for this launch is that when you join the workshop and upgrade, we are sending you a physical copy of our planner. This planner, you guys, come over to YouTube and see it. It's so gorgeous. Design your life, live your purpose, it says on the front with these gorgeous red flowers. It is just a beauty. And listen, the stuff inside of here will really teach you how to do this. So when you do upgrade, you not only get the physical planner mailed to you, you do have to pay shipping. So you upgrade to the $27 workshop, you pay shipping, you get the planner mailed to you, but you get our planner course for free. And I'm going to be going live in the Facebook group for the workshop to show you practical ways that I use the planner all the time. This planner has literally changed my life, you guys. It's probably the tool that we use most in our in-life mentoring school to help people get the results they want. It's definitely the tool that I use most. Again, I spent 30 minutes planning my day today, and even though everything went sideways, I will still end up creating the kind of day that I want because I have learned how to decide on purpose. And these are the things that we're going to teach you how to do in the workshop. These are the things that the planner will help you do. And I can't wait until you get this tool in your hands. You're going to love it so much. So to get it, you go to ediewadsworthcoaching.com/purpose. Sign up for the workshop at the end of September. Upgrade to the VIP experience of the workshop. You'll get the planner shipped to you. You'll get the planner course, which will teach you how to use it. And then you'll get added to this private Facebook group. And I'll be in there live showing you step by step how to use different parts of our planner. All right. I hope this has helped you today. What kind of day do you want to create? What kind of thoughts do you want to think about today? What kind of emotions do you want to experience today? You're the one in control of that. And what kind of actions do you want to take that help you lay your head on your pillow tonight, being so proud of the way you spent your day, feeling so spent in the best way, feeling so purposeful in your own life? All right. I love you so much. Can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.